What happens when a 17-year-old honor student walks into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom and pleads guilty to vandalism he didn't commit just to protect someone he loves? Marcus Thompson stood at the podium in his worn church suit, his mother crying in the front row, ready to accept a criminal record that would destroy his college scholarship and his future. He had already signed a confession. His public defender had already negotiated a plea deal. The case was supposed to be over in 5 minutes. Just another teenager making bad choices, another kid going into the system. But when Judge Caprio looked into this boy's eyes and asked one simple question, "Marcus, did you actually do this?" the answer that followed would stop the courtroom cold, because what Marcus was about to reveal wasn't just about spray paint on a building. It was about a younger brother with autism, a single mother working 3 jobs, and the kind of love that makes a 17-year-old boy willing to throw away everything to protect his family. Before we dive into this story, less than 5% of you watching are actually subscribed. If you believe in second chances, if you believe some lies are told out of love, and if you believe that sometimes the person standing before a judge is the most innocent one in the room, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what happens next will show you why Judge Frank Caprio doesn't just read case files, he reads people. It's 2:15 p.m. on January 9th, 2025, in Providence Municipal Court. Courtroom 2B at 25 Doran Street. Judge Frank Caprio has been on the bench since 9 a.m. and it's been a long day. Traffic violations, parking disputes, small claims, the usual Thursday afternoon grind. He's tired, his feet hurt. He's looking forward to going home to his wife and grandchildren. But there's one more case on the docket before he can leave. The State of Rhode Island versus Marcus James Thompson, age 17. Case number PR 2025-001247. Charge criminal mischief and vandalism under Rhode Island General Law 1144-1. The defendant allegedly spray-painted graffiti on the side of Martinez Food Market on Broad Street on the night of December 28, 2024, causing $1,200 in damages. This should be straightforward. The defendant has already confessed. His public defender has negotiated a plea deal. Guilty plea. Probation, restitution, community service, no jail time because he's a juvenile with no prior record. Sign the papers, everyone goes home. Judge Caprio looks at the case file. Marcus James Thompson, age 17, senior at Hope High School, GPA 3.8, member of the National Honor Society, captain of the debate team, full academic scholarship to Providence College starting fall 2025. Lives with his mother Sandra Thompson, a single parent who works as a nursing assistant at Rhode Island Hospital. This doesn't fit the profile. Honor students with college scholarships don't usually spray paint buildings, but the evidence is clear. Security camera footage shows a teenage boy matching Marcus's description spray painting the wall. A police officer found Marcus 2 blocks away with spray paint on his hands. Marcus immediately confessed and apologized. Open and shut case. All rise. Inspector Thomas Quinn announces as Judge Caprio prepares to call the case. But something makes him pause. Call it intuition. Call it 40 years of experience. Call it the instinct that has guided him through thousands of cases. Something about this doesn't feel right. Case number PR 2025-001247. The State of Rhode Island versus Marcus Thompson. Judge Caprio announces, will the defendant please approach? From the gallery, a teenage boy stands up. Marcus Thompson is tall for 17, maybe 6'1", but thin. All angles and awkward teenage growth spurts. He's wearing a suit that's clearly borrowed or thrifted. The sleeves are too short, the pants a bit too big, held up with a belt pulled tight. His tie is knotted carefully but slightly crooked. His shoes are polished but worn, the kind you see on kids whose mothers make them wear church shoes to court. But what strikes Judge Caprio most is the boy's face. Marcus has the face of someone carrying a weight far heavier than his years. Dark circles under his eyes, jaw clenched, shoulders hunched, like he's bracing for a blow. Walking beside him is his public defender, Attorney Lisa Chen, a young lawyer with the public defender's office who looks overwhelmed and underpaid. Behind them, sitting in the front row of the gallery, is a woman who must be Marcus's mother. Sandra Thompson is maybe 40 years old, but looks 50, her face lined with exhaustion. She's wearing scrubs. She must have come straight from her shift at the hospital. She's crying quietly into a tissue. Next to Sandra sits a younger boy, maybe 14 years old, with headphones on. He's rocking slightly in his seat, making small repetitive movements with his hands. Every few seconds he hums a soft tune. Autism, Judge Caprio recognizes immediately. He has a grandson on the spectrum. He knows the signs. Marcus approaches the podium. His hands are shaking slightly. "Good afternoon, Marcus," Judge Caprio says gently. "I'm Judge Caprio. How are you today?" "I'm okay, sir. Thank you for asking." His voice is quiet, respectful, well-spoken. "Marcus, I see here you're represented by Attorney Chen from the Public Defender's Office. Is that correct?" "Yes, Your Honor." Attorney Chen steps forward. "Your Honor, my client has agreed to plead guilty to the charge of criminal mischief and vandalism. We've negotiated a plea agreement with the prosecutor, 18 months probation, 200 hours community service, full restitution of $1,200 to the victim, Mr. Antonio Martinez, owner of Martinez Food Market. In exchange, we're asking for no jail time given that Marcus is a first-time offender, a high school senior, and has a full scholarship to Providence College." Judge Caprio nods. "I've reviewed the plea agreement. Before we proceed, I need to ask Marcus some questions to make sure he understands what he's agreeing to. Marcus, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're accepting responsibility for spray painting graffiti on Martinez Food Market on December 28, 2024? "Yes, Your Honor." "And you understand that this will give you a criminal record, that this will appear on background checks when you apply for jobs, for housing, for anything that requires a background check?" "Yes, Your Honor." "And you understand that Providence College could potentially revoke your scholarship if they learn about this conviction?" Marcus's voice cracks slightly. "Yes, Your Honor. I understand." Judge Caprio pauses. He looks at this 17-year-old boy who's about to throw away his future. He looks at the case file. He looks at the mother crying in the front row. And then he does something that makes Attorney Chen look up in surprise. "Marcus, I have one more question before I accept this plea, and I need you to look at me when you answer." Marcus lifts his head. His eyes meet Judge Caprio's. "Marcus, did you actually do this? Did you spray paint that wall?" For a long moment, Marcus doesn't answer. His jaw works. His eyes glisten. And then, in the smallest voice, "Your Honor, I signed a confession. The police have my statement. I'm pleading guilty." "That's not what I asked you, son. I asked if you did it. Did your hands hold that spray paint can? Did you paint those words on that wall?" The courtroom is completely silent. Marcus's lip trembles. A tear rolls down his cheek. And then quietly, "No, Your Honor, I didn't do it." The courtroom erupts in shocked murmurs. Attorney Chen's head snaps toward her client. The prosecutor stands up, confused. Sandra Thompson lets out a sob. Judge Caprio holds up his hand for silence. "Marcus, if you didn't do it, why did you confess? Why are you standing here pleading guilty to a crime you didn't commit?" And this is where Marcus's story begins to unfold. Marcus takes a shaky breath. "Your Honor, can I explain everything? The whole truth?" "That's exactly what I want you to do, son. Tell me the truth. All of it." Marcus wipes his eyes with the back of his hand. He looks at his mother, who nods encouragingly through her tears. He looks at his younger brother, who's still rocking gently, oblivious to the drama unfolding. "Your Honor, that's my little brother, Isaiah. He's 14. He has autism. He's nonverbal, which means he can't talk. He communicates through pictures and sign language that me and my mom understand. He's the sweetest kid in the world. He loves music, loves art, loves colors." Marcus's voice gets stronger as he talks about his brother. "Isaiah goes to a special school during the day, but in the evenings and weekends, I take care of him while my mom works. My mom works 3 jobs, Your Honor. She's a nursing assistant at Rhode Island Hospital from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then she cleans offices downtown from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then she works overnight shifts at a group home 3 nights a week. She does all this to pay for Isaiah's therapy and our rent and food and everything." He looks at his mother with such love. "My mom is the hardest working person I know. She never complains. She never stops. But it means Isaiah is with me a lot. And I love him. I love taking care of him. He's my best friend. Marcus pauses, collecting himself. On December 28th, it was a Saturday night. My mom was working the overnight shift at the group home. I was home with Isaiah. We were watching a movie. But around 9 p.m., Isaiah got really agitated. Sometimes he has sensory overload and he needs to move, needs to be outside. I know his patterns. I knew he needed to go for a walk or he'd have a meltdown. Judge Caprio listens intently, his heart already understanding where this is going. So I took Isaiah out for a walk. It was cold, but he didn't care. He was happy to be outside. We walked down Broad Street. We passed Martinez Food Market. Mr. Martinez was closing up for the night. We waved at him. He waved back. He knows us. We shop there all the time. Marcus's voice drops. We kept walking. But then Isaiah saw something. There was a construction site 2 blocks down. They'd left some equipment outside, including spray paint cans, bright colors, red, blue, yellow, green. He closes his eyes, remembering. Your Honor, Isaiah loves colors. He loves art. Before I could stop him, he grabbed a can of red spray paint and ran. He's fast when he wants to be. I chased him, but he got to the side wall of Martinez Food Market before I could catch him. Marcus's voice cracks. He started spray painting. He wasn't writing words, he can't write. He was just making colors, swirls and patterns. To him it was beautiful. To him it was art. He was so happy, Your Honor. He was laughing, making his happy sounds. He didn't understand he was doing anything wrong. Tears are streaming down Marcus's face now. I tried to stop him, but he'd already painted so much. And then I heard a police siren. Someone must have called the cops. I panicked. Your Honor, Isaiah can't handle police. Loud noises, strangers, flashing lights, it would terrify him. He'd have a complete meltdown. And I was scared they'd arrest him, put him in a police car, take him somewhere I couldn't protect him. Marcus looks directly at Judge Caprio. So I made a choice. I grabbed a spray paint can from Isaiah. I got paint all over my hands. I told Isaiah to run home. We live just 4 blocks away. I showed him the picture card for home that he carries. He understood. He ran. 2 minutes later, Officer Rodriguez found me 2 blocks away. My hands were covered in red paint. The spray paint can was in my jacket pocket. He asked if I painted the wall at Martinez Food Market, and I said yes. I confessed right there. I didn't hesitate. Marcus's mother is sobbing openly now. They took me to the police station. They called my mom at work. She had to leave her shift, which meant she lost that night's pay. When she got there, I told the police the whole story. I told them it was me. I signed a confession. I apologized to Mr. Martinez when he came to file the report. But Your Honor, Marcus's voice is pleading now. I couldn't let them punish Isaiah. He didn't know what he was doing. He's 14, but mentally he's maybe 6 or 7. He was just playing with colors. He didn't understand it was someone's property. He didn't understand it was vandalism. How could they charge him? How could they put him in the system? He wouldn't survive it. Marcus wipes his face. So I took the blame. I confessed, and I was going to plead guilty today and accept probation and community service and pay back the $1,200, even though I have no idea how we'll come up with that money. I was going to take the criminal record, risk losing my scholarship, risk my entire future, because that's what big brothers do. They protect their little brothers. But guys, before I tell you what Judge Caprio does next, I need you to do something. In the comments below, tell me, do you have a sibling you would protect at any cost? Have you ever taken the blame for someone you love? Share your story, because this is about more than vandalism. This is about the kind of love that sacrifices everything, about families doing their best with impossible circumstances, about a 17-year-old boy who was willing to destroy his future to protect his disabled brother. The courtroom is completely silent, except for the sound of Sandra Thompson crying and Isaiah humming softly to himself, unaware that his brother just confessed to protecting him. Judge Frank Caprio sits at his bench, looking at this 17-year-old boy who just told the truth, even though it could have destroyed the plea deal that would have kept him out of worse trouble. Looking at a mother who works 3 jobs to support 2 boys, one of whom needs constant care. Looking at a 14-year-old boy with autism who just wanted to play with colors. Judge Caprio removes his glasses slowly. He wipes his own eyes, and then he does something extraordinary. Officer Quinn, please approach the bench. Inspector Quinn comes forward. Tom, I need you to contact Mr. Antonio Martinez, the owner of Martinez Food Market. I need him to come to this courtroom immediately if he's available. If not, get him on the phone. I need to speak with him before I make any rulings in this case. Quinn nods and steps out to make the call. Judge Caprio looks at the prosecutor. Counselor, did you know about the brother? About Isaiah? The prosecutor, a young assistant district attorney named Kevin Walsh, looks uncomfortable. Your Honor, the defendant told police about his brother at the station, but the confession was clear. He admitted to the vandalism. We had paint on his hands, we had the spray can in his pocket. From a legal standpoint, he confessed to the crime. We proceeded accordingly. From a legal standpoint, Judge Caprio repeats, his voice carrying a note of disappointment. Counselor, did it occur to you to investigate further? To ask why an honor student with a 3.8 GPA and a college scholarship would suddenly spray paint a building? To question whether maybe, just maybe, there was more to the story. Walsh shifts uncomfortably. Your Honor, with respect, we have limited resources. We have hundreds of cases. When someone confesses and the evidence supports it, you take the easy route, Judge Caprio finishes. You check a box and move on. I understand. But this is a 17-year-old boy's future we're talking about. This deserves more than checking boxes. He turns to Marcus. Son, why didn't you tell your lawyer the truth? Why didn't you fight this? Marcus looks at Attorney Chen apologetically. Your Honor, I did tell her. Attorney Chen tried to convince me to tell the whole story. She told me we could fight it. But I was scared. I was scared that if I told the truth, they'd go after Isaiah instead. I was scared the system would hurt him. So I told her I wanted to plead guilty. She was just doing what I asked her to do. Attorney Chen nods. Your Honor, I advised my client multiple times that he should present the full facts. But he insisted on pleading guilty. I can only advocate for what my client wants. Judge Caprio nods. I understand, Counselor. You did your job. Inspector Quinn returns. Judge, I have Mr. Martinez on the phone. He can't come to court right now. He's at the store, but he's willing to speak with you. Put him on speaker. Quinn sets up the phone on the bench. Mr. Martinez, this is Judge Frank Caprio. Can you hear me? Yes, Judge Caprio. I can hear you. Antonio Martinez's voice is accented, warm. What can I do for you? Mr. Martinez, I have Marcus Thompson in my courtroom right now. He's about to plead guilty to vandalizing your store on December 28th. But before I accept that plea, I need to ask you some questions. Do you know Marcus? Marcus? Of course I know Marcus. Good kid. He comes to my store all the time with his mother and his little brother. Always polite. Always respectful. I was shocked when police told me he did this. Mr. Martinez, Marcus just told me the truth. He didn't paint your wall. His 14-year-old brother Isaiah did it. Isaiah has autism. He's nonverbal. He saw spray paint cans and thought they were toys. He didn't understand he was doing anything wrong. Marcus took the blame to protect him. Were you aware of this? There's a long pause. Then Mr. Martinez's voice comes back, thick with emotion. No, Judge, I didn't know this. Marcus never told me. When I came to the police station to file the report, Marcus just apologized over and over. He said he'd pay for everything. He looked so sad, so scared. I felt bad for him, but I had to file the report because my insurance needed it. Mr. Martinez, the damage to your wall is estimated at $1,200. Is that correct? Yes, Judge. That's what the painter quoted me to cover it up and repaint. Has the repainting been done yet? No, Judge. I'm waiting until this case is settled so I know if insurance will cover it or if the boy will pay restitution. Judge Caprio pauses. Mr. Martinez, if I told you that the person who actually painted your wall was a 14-year-old autistic child who thought he was making art, not committing vandalism, what would you want to happen? Another long pause. When Mr. Martinez speaks again, his voice is gentle. Judge Caprio, I have a nephew with Down syndrome. I understand these special kids. They see the world differently. If this boy Isaiah didn't know what he was doing, if he wasn't trying to hurt me, Judge, I don't want to punish a disabled child. That's not right. And Marcus, the 17-year-old who was willing to take the blame to protect his brother. Marcus is a good boy, Judge. He's protecting his family. I respect that. In my culture, family is everything. We protect each other. Judge Caprio's voice is gentle. Mr. Martinez, would you be willing to drop the charges if we can find another way to address the damage to your wall? Judge Caprio, if you think that's the right thing to do, then yes, I drop the charges. I don't want to ruin this boy's life. He has a scholarship to college. He has a future. He was just being a good brother. Thank you, Mr. Martinez. You're a good man. Thank you, Judge. And please tell Marcus and his mother they are always welcome in my store. Always. Judge Caprio disconnects the call. He looks at Marcus, whose face is a mixture of shock and hope. Marcus, I've been on this bench for 40 years. I've seen a lot of criminals, people who hurt others on purpose, people who steal and cheat and lie for selfish reasons. But you know what you are? You're not a criminal. You're a hero. Marcus's eyes fill with tears. You put yourself at risk to protect your brother. You were willing to accept a criminal record, lose your scholarship, destroy your future, all to keep Isaiah safe. That's not criminal behavior, son. That's love. That's sacrifice. That's exactly the kind of character this world needs more of. Judge Caprio picks up the case file. Here's what's going to happen. Mr. Martinez has agreed to drop the charges. The state's case against you is dismissed. You will have no criminal record. Your scholarship is safe. Your future is safe. Marcus collapses against the podium, sobbing with relief. His mother screams, "Thank you, Jesus." From the gallery, even Attorney Chen is crying. But Judge Caprio continues, "We still need to address the damage to Mr. Martinez's wall. Marcus, I'm not going to order you to pay $1,200. That's not fair when you didn't do the damage. Instead, I'm going to do something else." He looks at his clerk. "Maria, I need you to contact the Providence Youth Arts Program. I want to know if they have any mural projects. I want Isaiah's artwork on that wall turned into something beautiful, not covered up, transformed." He looks at Marcus. "Marcus, I want you to work with the arts program. I want you and Isaiah to go back to that wall with professional artists. I want you to help Isaiah turn what he did into an actual mural, something the neighborhood can be proud of, something Mr. Martinez can point to and say, a special young man made this. Can you do that?" Marcus can barely speak. "Yes, Your Honor. Yes, thank you so much. And Marcus, when you get to Providence College in the fall, I want you to study hard. I want you to graduate. I want you to become whatever you dream of becoming. And I want you to remember that being a good brother, being someone who protects the vulnerable, that's more valuable than any degree." Judge Caprio looks at Sandra Thompson. "Mrs. Thompson, would you please stand?" Sandra stands, still crying, clutching tissues. "Mrs. Thompson, you're raising two good boys. You're working 3 jobs to give them a life. You're exhausted, you're struggling, but you're doing it with love. I want you to know that you're succeeding. Marcus is proof of that. You should be very, very proud." Sandra can't even speak. She just nods, crying. Judge Caprio looks at Isaiah, who's still rocking gently, humming to himself. And Isaiah is an artist. He sees beauty in colors. That's a gift. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. He bangs his gavel softly. Case dismissed. Marcus Thompson, you're free to go. No criminal record. No probation. Go home. Hug your brother. Thank your mother. And go build your future. As Marcus turns to leave, he runs to his mother. They embrace, both sobbing. Isaiah, feeling the emotion even if he doesn't fully understand it, wraps his arms around both of them, humming louder now his happy sound. Judge Caprio watches them. Wiping his own eyes, Attorney Chen approaches the bench. "Your Honor, thank you. Thank you for seeing the truth. Counselor, in this job we can't just read case files, we have to read people. Marcus's eyes told me everything I needed to know. He's not a vandal, he's a kid who loves his brother." The story doesn't end there. The Providence Youth Arts Program partnered with Marcus and Isaiah. Over the next 2 weeks, they spent hours at Martinez Food Market. Professional muralists worked with Isaiah, helping him expand his original red swirls into a massive, beautiful mural. Isaiah, in his nonverbal way, directed colors and patterns. Marcus helped, supported, encouraged. The finished mural was stunning. Swirls of red, blue, yellow, and green covering the entire side wall. Abstract, joyful, alive. The neighborhood fell in love with it. Mr. Martinez held a grand unveiling. He invited the community. He told Isaiah's story. He hung a small plaque, mural by Isaiah Thompson, artist. Age 14. Isaiah stood in front of his creation, rocking happily, humming his tune, touching the colors he'd made. Marcus stood beside him, arm around his brother's shoulders, both of them smiling. The local news covered the story. It went viral. Judge Caprio saves honor. Student who confessed to protect autistic brother. Within days, donations poured in for the Thompson family. Over $85,000 was raised. Sandra was able to quit 2 of her 3 jobs. They moved to a better apartment. Isaiah got increased therapy services. And Marcus, he graduated Hope High School with honors in June 2025. He gave a speech at graduation about love, sacrifice, and the importance of protecting those who can't protect themselves. There wasn't a dry eye in the auditorium. He started at Providence College in September 2025 with his full scholarship intact. He's studying social work with a focus on autism advocacy. His dream, to create programs that help families like his, families with special needs, children who are doing their best with limited resources. Isaiah's mural still stands on the side of Martinez Food Market. It's become a neighborhood landmark. People take photos in front of it. Artists visit to admire it. And Isaiah, whenever he walks past with Marcus, stops and hums his happy sound, touching the colors he created. If this story moved you, share it. Subscribe if you believe in judges who see the truth behind confessions, like if you have a sibling you'd protect with your life. And remember what Marcus taught us. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is take the blame for someone who doesn't understand they've done anything wrong. That's not lying. That's love. Justice served. Family protected. Art created from chaos. That's the power of one judge who asked one question: did you actually do this?